the annexure of a country without a regime change. The American method. Keep up. She's fast. Knows the stuff.
I just looked up how the United States acquired Hawaii. I'm going to get the blackboard. You might need a tea before this lesson. Stand by. Of course the CIA was involved. Get your own pen. Here we go. Hawaii. Sometimes my writing is especially horrific. We're going to start in 1893 at the overthrowing of the monarchy. First and foremost, we are going to talk about the economic motives. Of course it's about money. It's always about money. Here we go. At the end of the 19th century, American business owners owned all of the sugar plantations in Hawaii, and they were making tons of money. And then McKinley, President of the United States, started putting huge tariffs on all things coming into the United States. And these business owners started worrying that nobody was going to buy their sugar because it was going to be at such a high tariff. So they decided, I wonder if annexation is a good idea. So the goal becomes annex Hawaii in order to circumvent the trade barrier. Number 2, the coup. So in 1893, the Queen of Hawaii knew that this kind of shift of power was trying to happen. So what did she do? She tried to create a new constitution to solidify power for her country and to the people of that country. In response to that, a group of white business owners created something called the Committee for Safety. Now, just for the record, the Committee of Safety was all about the safety of their money and their investment. It had nothing to do with the people of Hawaii or democracy. I just want you to know. This led to number 3.
Kind of like the Department of Peace. Oh, okay, yep. The peace of the Americans, or peace of the American government. Yeah. I kind of see how this is playing out.
A U.S. military-backed coup. And this coup had U.S. Marines land in Hawaii under the pretense of protecting American citizens. Isn't that always the way? Do you think the Marines ever get tired of protecting American monetary interests around the world under the guise of protecting the Constitution? Because isn't our job of the military to protect the Constitution and freedom of the citizens of the United States, not use it to weaponize to take over every other country?
Kind of like what's going on, what happened with Venezuela, kind of like what's going on right now with Iran, kind of like what they're setting up to do right here in Australia. But they're allies, exactly, which means that they're our friends, right? Nah. People, maybe. Government? Nah. Why? Americans are stupid.
Just a thought. Protecting democracy does not extend past the borders of the United States, apparently. Don't say I never did anything for you. Now I have to wait for it to dry. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but annexation. Number 1, the Queen conditionally, that's important, surrenders. Why? She wants to avoid her people having insurmountable bloodshed. Now here's where it gets interesting. Number 2, Grover Cleveland, who is president at this time, initially looks at the situation, the annexation of Hawaii, and declares it illegal. Grovers are always such good guys. Super Grover, Grover Cleveland. I'm sure I'll think of another one. I hate to say this. However, Stanford Dole was the provisional governor of Hawaii, and he refused to step down and declared it annexed, declared it a part of the United States. Hawaii is now a republic. That was my best emperor. Did you like it? Another, however,
We're noticing a pattern here. Every time they want to do something, they install somebody different because the last guy that did something won't get away with the next step. We'll vote this guy in. Or they shuffle the seats around a bit. Now this senator holds a different seat, or this governor holds a different seat, or they're now with the Department of Justice, or with the Department of Defence, which is now legitimately called the Department of War. What is it good for? This. It's all about this. Nice flowchart, lady.
Number 3, what else happened in 1898? The Spanish-American War. Now there's a perceived strategic need for acquiring Hawaii. Why? They needed a naval base there to get to the other country that they annexed, which was the Philippines during the Spanish-American War. So now the military is involved creating this dialogue about making sure people know this is essential for U.S. defense.
Oh, you're starting to see why China wants... Oh, just spat on you. You're starting to see why China wants Taiwan back? And you're starting to see why Korea wants America out of South Korea? My precious. I'm starting to see why they want to handball China out of the Port of Darwin. And we're starting to see that this is imperialism 101 2.0. You know, pillage, plunder, take, annex, regime change. It's ours now. What do you mean? It's legitimately ours. We signed the paperwork. We bought it up ourselves and signed our own receipt.
Wonder if they were thinking about Greenland at the same time. Just wait till you hear how McKinley bypasses the Constitution, guys.
Alright.
You guys are really not going to like this one. So the New Lands Resolution. So in order to acquire or to annex a new territory, the Senate needs to approve it with a 2/3 majority. Why is that? It's very, very simple and actually should be very strongly embedded in the Constitution. The more land you acquire, the more input you have in your political system. So it makes perfect sense that we want to go slowly to acquire land. Also, everything's going to cost more money. So as new land costs more money, it makes sense that the elected democratic body gets to make a decision on that result. But since McKinley still wanted Hawaii, what he does instead is passes something called a joint resolution. That just requires a simple majority of the Senate, and what ends up happening, they annex it in 1898. Just a side backstory, McKinley was heavily influenced by something called social Darwinism, and social Darwinism meant that as societies progressed, the countries that were lifted into the top economic stratospheres, by some were considered to be superior. And it took it as their job, as their mission, and I use the word mission purposefully, to go and civilize other nations that have yet to achieve that status. Money buys morality in this very broken ideology. You guys...
You're about to learn something here. Oh, how you going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Come to this. Yeah, good. Thanks a lot. You too. Did pizza. Pizza. So, we're about to learn something very important about our own constitution that relates to American imperialism. How? Well, we're about to come into the monarchy aspect of it all.
Exhausted yet? I'm exhausted. My head hurts a little bit. We're in the home stretch. Alright, here we go. Hawaii becomes an actual territory as of 1900. And it's not until 1959 that they actually acquire state status after having a referendum in Hawaii in which 93% of the population voted to join the United States as a state. 60 years of abuse as a territory will make you want to join the country in order to actually get the benefits of being a U.S. citizen and constitutional protections, rather than it being used against you in a consistent manner. You guys are going to love this. And in 1993, the U.S. officially apologized for the annexation of Hawaii. Here's my issue. If they knew it was wrong, if they knew it was illegal, my issue isn't going back in time. We don't have a DeLorean or Michael J. Fox. My issue is this. Why does the United States government consistently replicate this particular strategy when dealing with the rest of the world? My issue is the apology doesn't mean anything if you keep employing the same tactics. But I'm telling you right now, your chickens are coming home to roost. So bad.
So, European imperialism, same guys, different continent, back in the day, takes over Australia. Creates a hell of a conundrum for us now, between then and now, between us and whether they were first, second or third nations, people, who cares? Doesn't mean they don't care about this, just means that that argument is really void. It's null and void. It's a mute argument, it's a nothing argument. You need to throw it away because we're all been born here, we're all here now. Then is then, now is now, but we apparently haven't learnt from the then, have we? Oh, garlic bread, thank you. Can I have a drink too, please? I'll give you that one. So, evidently it's happening again. So, what's the difference? Back then, they had thank you, Lily. The picture I'm looking for. I can't find it. I can't find it. It'll be somewhere. There's a picture I'm looking for. I'm ill prepared. This is me at school. Ha! Hopeless. Here we go. Europeans had what they call armadas, an armada of ships. And what did Australia have? That. Yes, they're doodles. Now, Jesus, I've been put to shame. Anyway, now it's that all over again, isn't it? Why do you think you've been disarmed over the last over the last 30 years. They've spent the last 30 years chiseling away and chiseling away to the point that now we are them again, pretty much, facing that again. Oh, I've got to eat while it's hot. And meanwhile, we're all running around going about Palestine. None of us are united. Pauline and sell out Pauline and Coconut and Undine just had to go and stoke the fire the day before my mum came here with a 10 bob pot, and I'm going to call it Invasion Day. Ooh! Well, wasn't it? Kind of was. Am I being an Aboriginal sympathiser? A little bit, but not really. I'm just being real. I'm being honest. We've been watered down, bred down, our bloodlines are all over the place. Find me an Aboriginal. Find me a pure-blooded Pom descendant from those days. You won't. You can't. They don't exist. Meaning what? Meaning put your bullshit to bed. We're all Australians now. Learn from it because it's happening again right now. Except they don't need that armada. They got idiots. Us. We can't even agree on the colour of a red ruby. We can't even agree on gender. What? We can't even agree on what a Jew is. Back in this picture. Now, let's have a look at it again, shall we? Why? Why for? But, look at all that lovely uranium. Look at it all. Look at that. Look at these lovely petroleum basin deposits. Look at them. And stuff. Geez, what could I read that? Look at the major roads, major traffic, major. Now what's that? You know what that is? Who knows what that is? That's Bashlink. Now we got another one coming in going to go up through here. Oh yeah, no, they're not going to tap that petroleum, are they? No, they're not going to tap that petroleum. Look at the little oil drop there. Yeah. So, tell me again, Marinus, that you're not hooked up with Lockheed Martin? Locked up with Lockheed Martin? Tell me again, government, why our energy and infrastructure has all been chiselled away to foreign ownership, given away. Why is our property market and housing markets all been privatised, chiselled away and given away when we paid for it, we actually own it? Tell us again, government, why Herzog was really here. He done his job. I'll just leave this here, shall I? Poof, and go back home. Oh, Palestine. Too late. They're finished in Palestine. That's done. They're in Iran now. Where do you think all the Palestinians went? So what, when they're finished in Iran, you're going to start hopping up and down about Iran? What will be the point in that? Because I'll be here.